Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion. Coming to you from the barren hills of Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, the home of Jeff Quinn. We miss him. Yes, pretty cool out here. Yeah, cool and cool to be here. Yeah, cool to be anywhere, right? Yeah, it's barren, but as I said last week, the leaves are all here. It's just they're on the ground. Can't get my grandson to rake them up. I don't know what the deal is, what the problem is. I tell him every time he comes, why don't you rake these leaves? But he won't do it. Yeah, man, did you notice I popped old Clyde there on the first shot? I think the last shot. 44 Magnum Marlin. I was in the mood to shoot this. This or the 357. And I really was. I couldn't decide between, and this one was handier. It was in front of the safe, and I just got it out. You can never go wrong with 44 Magnum. Make a note of that. Yeah, especially in a rifle. Now, you may not like recoil, and you don't want to shoot a 44 Magnum handgun anytime soon, but if that's you, you might enjoy it in a rifle. Okay, big old, fairly large lever action rifle. And of course these cowboy models have the octagonal barrel, and they got a little more weight to them. I guess the barrels are heavier even if they're the same length, are they? If you take this is what, 24, and if you take the same length barrel, if they even make it in a round barrel, I think they're just a bit smaller gauge, or less, not gauge, of course the the bore's got to be the same. Brilliant, huh? But I don't know, the fact they're octagonal, they seem to be heavier. I don't know, maybe they're not. I think they are. So anyway, yeah, one of my favorite, well, it is my favorite, right? Remember the last lever gun I'd ever give up? I believe this was it, wasn't it? Yeah, man, 44 Magnum. It is December, the last month of the year. So I need to be shooting especially some of my favorite firearms, don't you think? I've already got an idea for next week. I was going to do it today. I said, well, no, next week will be the last, actually the very last Sunday shoot around for the year. So it would be appropriate what I want to shoot some more before the year ends. So pretty cool, 44 Magnum. I was shooting with some Federal there. I got some Steinel. Also, they're 240 grain jacket rounds, kind of the same, good stuff. So I'll shoot those next. Sparkling water helps keep me from drinking soft drinks. Okay. Yeah, so what else? I don't know. I'm gonna shoot some more. I just brought this baby out today, devote my full attention to it, and yak at you about a couple of things. And of course, Christmas. I think Christmas is right around the corner. Yeah, don't you think? Yep, it's coming up like really soon. Maybe tonight you're going to be looking for Santa. Yeah, hopefully you've been good this year and he'll bring you something. Okay, Santa is a he still, right? Who knows? But yeah, that'd be cool. Santa comes to see you, maybe bring you a box of ammo or something. If you're watching this, you'd probably appreciate a box of ammo. Not everybody. I hear from a lot of people that don't even have guns that watch, but most of you do. And a box of ammo might be appreciated, right? Maybe something even send it through, a pipe with a stock on it that would chamber that ammo. Yeah, so and that's what some of you will get. I'm pretty sure that will happen. Yep, and I remind you that too much talking, I think 1 through 8 are up over on Patreon page. What else? I don't know. I don't know anything else. I'm kind of dumb. Y'all figure that out. Let me put some of the Steinel ammo in here. I'll load that up a little bit. And get ready to shoot some more. Is that okay if I do that? All right. Nothing like a 44, man. I'll tell you. Great all-around cartridge. Especially if you hand load. Even if you don't. It's not cheap ammo, that's for sure. But you can find different types of rounds, you know, hollow points, soft points like these, and you can find lead rounds, all sorts of things. You can load your own rounds. So there are some really hot rounds too, loaded, available commercially that you don't have to load. Most of the guns chambered in 44 Magnum will take some pretty warm rounds, right? And because it's not like 45 Colt, 45-70, a lot of the other rounds, the commercial loadings, they're some of them pretty stout, but they're always aware that they could end up they could be fired in a trapdoor Springfield, a design that goes back to when? 1873, right? Same with the Colt single action on 45 Colts. So they generally don't load any Magnum loads in those unless it's really indicated on the box. It's a kind of a boutique loader, or it's a special loading, and you name some of the companies, I guess Buffalo Bore and Garrett cartridges and others, they load rounds that are, and it will say usually, well, probably always on the box what the velocity is, and then all the pressures and what guns to fire it in quite often, right? Like they'll specify Marlin or Ruger only, or certain firearms that will handle that. So make sure you don't put those rounds in some old gun, antique gun. But yeah, great all-around cartridge, no doubt about it. Also want to thank Alabama Holster. Oh man, got two of them on me. My phone and my pocket gun. Great manufacturer of little Kydex concealment holsters. I don't think I've shown you one for a while. I'm carrying this week my Kimber. Yeah, snaps right in there. Pretty cool. The K6 XS. Okay, nice little holsters, man. They hold them snug and like a bug and a rug, right? So appreciate Alabama Holster. Check them out. And a lot of you have. You've talked to me about it. What else was I going to do? I was going to shoot. I think I should shoot Clyde again. Some of you don't like me shooting Clyde. So he never did hurt anybody. Well, I don't know. He should not have shown up on the compound. What can I say? I'm sorry, Clyde. You're there and you need to be shot. Let's just put it that way. So do you, Cowboy. Oh, right over that bowling pin. I'm going to pop that pin. Don't you love that sound? Let's compare it with Clyde. Now, Clyde's a different sound. He's heavier, bigger. Come on, man. A smaller plate over there. Oh, that's a nice sound too. I got more ammo. Let's shoot something else then. Smack that 2-liter. Yeah, these are great all-around rifles. These Marlin lever guns. They're not, well, they are historical in a way. Because, again, 1894 Marlin, that's the model. So it goes back that far, at least. I guess it's not quite as historical as an 1873 Winchester, but it goes back pretty far. And they've been making them still, for so long, and making them now. Ruger Marlin, Ruger is. So they're great guns. I think I've told you when I first got into cowboy action shooting that the 45 Colt was like this is what I started with. I bought it for that and learned to love it. And a lot of people were using it. I went and observed on a match or two and saw a lot of people shooting it, that particular rifle, this one. And I bought it, looked like a good one, and still have it, as you know, and just really enjoy it. So they're great guns. People seem to gravitate a little bit more in later years to the 1873 models. Not everybody, but a lot of people did. The U-Birdies generally, or even an original, gun, but still very, very popular, I assume. And I think the Henrys are popular too now. They used to not allow them because they're not, they're not truly historical, unless you're talking about the original or the reproduction of the 1860 Henry. Okay. But the actual Henry rifles, that they make so many and sell so many of, and they're good rifles. They started out in the 90s making those, they were not patterned after any antique rifles made in the 1800s, and that's was kind of the rule. I don't know if they changed that or not with cowboy action shooting, at least in SAS. That I'm not sure what the exact rules were. It's got to be something made during the 1880s or a replica of that. I think the way it used to be, but they've relaxed that a lot, and now I think the Henrys. I'm not sure what the exact rules are. Some of y'all probably know, but those are legal for that sport. Pretty cool. Yeah, man. Nice. Oh man, what else? Let me go ahead for young people. I got some young people since Christmas is coming up and all that. And you may have already done your yearly task, watching A Wonderful Life, and I've not yet watched it, but I will. Well, the time you see this, I might have, or tonight. I'm not sure. I was watching the last week. I recorded it and watched the Willie Nelson 90th birthday celebration. Some of you probably saw that, right? Did you? And I saw a lot of people going to be on there, and I wanted to see it. And then I've always liked Willie Nelson, great writer, songwriter, singer, and all that. Of course, hey, yeah, I just discovered that now. Newsflash. But I watched that, and same old deal. Chris Christopherson, another one of my favorites for a long time, writer, singer, and everything. And my gosh, I don't know. I hadn't kept up with his health conditions, and he looked in really bad shape. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's suffering from. They sort of had to lead him out there, and if you saw that, I'm not sure he was able to sing a little bit, but he didn't seem like he had control of his arms or body, and wasn't sure where he was almost, And I hate to see that. Wow. And then Willie, he looks 90, he looks 100, and neither of those characters are going to be with us a lot longer, no doubt. There looks like, but not buying trouble. But anyway, it's sad when people you've grown up with, many of you have too, and it's not just them. We can name all kinds of names, right? Johnny Cash and all the folks we've lost, and artists, people in the public eye that we miss. Well, a lot of those people, as I've said before, they were this soundtrack of my life, and yours too, many of you. Not exclusively them. I have a wide, varied interest in music, but my parents loved that music. I grew up with it, and learned to really like a lot of it. And it's just hard to see those folks get so old and die. It is. It shouldn't happen. They should get a special license, as I've said before. If you give the world something really special like that, maybe we need there ought to be, in a perfect world, a committee that votes and say, hey, you know what? Now some of you probably hate Willie Nelson, or you hate Chris Christopherson. That's everybody. It's got or whoever it is. They've got their detractors, whether it's me or anybody else, or you, people who don't like you or don't like me or don't like anybody. But by and large, if you are really you have contributed something to the planet. You have written songs or novels or whatever it is that the whole world has enjoyed. Most of the world has enjoyed, and you're revered for that. Maybe you get somehow, in a perfect world, there's a committee that votes and grants you an extra 40 years of life, and you get to continue making those songs. And Willie gets to be writing songs and traveling around with his broken guitar and singing them for another 40 years. Then we let him waste away. How's that? Yeah. Well, I guess in a fair world, it is a fair world, because we all go that way. Nobody gets that special pass, right? Anyway, that was tough, and it reminded me, again, young people, make the best of your years, and that doesn't mean grab all the gusto you can and don't think about the future. get it all now. Just the opposite. Just lead as great a life as you possibly can. Have your experiences, but be kind to people, and try to do something worthwhile. Everybody's not going to be a Willie Nelson, or a Johnny Cash, or be a household name, and create all these wonderful songs or novels or whatever that will live forever. But we can all do something, so that at least we're missed a little bit by some people or family, if nothing else, right? And so that was what I'm reminded of, and it's not new with him. Like one of Warren Buffett's famous lines, or quoted lines, is something about what is it? Write your own obituary. Write your own obituary, and then try to live up to it. But that kind of philosophy, the same thing. Write your own eulogy. What would you want people to say about you at your funeral? Okay, what would you ideally right now? What would it be great? Sound great to you? If I were speaking at your funeral service, what kinds of things would make you happy or delighted to hear me say, or your brother, or your kids, or a friend, whatever you would like for people to say about you, how you would want them to remember you. Okay, so think about that now while you're alive and young, maybe, or whatever, and then try to live up to that. It's just real good basic advice, isn't it? Ask yourself, as I've talked about before, if you were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, who would miss you? What did you contribute to the planet? What did you contribute to your family and your neighborhood, or whatever? Your roommates, people who live with you, whatever it is. What do you contribute? Would you be missed? How would they remember you? No, that was just that old grouchy old person down the hall that never spoke to anybody, or wow, that guy was so kind and always willing to help people, or whatever. Maybe you didn't write songs and novels, but you were just somebody that would be missed. And so think about that kind of thing. And that's the Wonderful Life reminded me of that again too. If you're familiar with that plot line, it's like A Christmas Carol, or whatever. In A Wonderful Life, the main character at one point wishes he had never lived, and of course he's granted that wish, and then he's taken around and shown through his hometown how life would be if he had not lived. And of course nobody knows him, and all that. And interesting movie, been around forever. I'm not telling you anything probably. Most of you have seen, although some of you young people may have not. But anyway, he sees what life would be like without him, and how people's lives would have been different. And he actually did impact a lot of people's lives, saves lives and everything else, and just an interest, something to think about, isn't it? Yeah, it's a thought-provoking concept. That movie is one reason it's so popular, I think. It reminds people that, to ask themselves maybe that question, what would it be like if I never existed? If I contributed anything to the party, All right, my thought for the day for young people. Shoot a little bit and let you get back to Christmas shopping, because you probably put it off until today, right? Did I load up? No, I didn't. How terrible is that? Let's shoot some more Steinel ammo here. Oh man, anything else I'm forgetting? I guess not. Again, don't forget the merch page at Bud's. You guys are always writing me and asking me on Facebook or in comments and kind of thing. Now we don't have T-shirts yet. That's a major project. We may get to that again, but as far as all the sizes and everything else, but a lot of different things. So check that out at Bud's. 44 Magnum. 44 Magnum. Out of a lever gun. Doesn't get a lot better than that, does it? And again, this is one of the things I like about any lever gun that has a full-length magazine, is the fact that it has a full-length magazine. That's one of the things I like. I like a full-length magazine. That's one way to say it, wasn't it? One of the things I like about a long barrel is it's long. No, yeah, I mean, it's when was it I was talking about that? Last week? It was recently somewhere. It was something I was shooting. Yeah, it was the guide gun. That's it, a couple of weeks ago. And, the guide gun, 45-70, the magazine comes out to about to here. It just holds 4 rounds. It had been so simple to make it full length and hold 5. I don't think you get 6, but you get 5. So, not that I'm a capacity freak, but it's just nice. You never know when you're going to have to go to war with something you didn't plan to go to war with, right? Could happen. We need to shoot this thing again. Boom! 44 Magnum, Clyde. How's it feel, Clyde? Yeah, that's good, huh? How about another one? I bet you cowboys put one on his hat. All right. There's a nice trigger. I really wasn't ready on that one. Yeah, very nice trigger. That's that turkey down in the holler. Another bullet and another 2-liter that needs to be blown up. All right, went through it and hit the cowboy. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a little power. Water has a very dampening effect. It really slows down a round. A bullet and can divert it a little bit. It's not going to divert it, 90 degrees or something. But I'm always impressed when something goes through a 2-liter, then hits a steel like that's, I don't know what that was, 4 or 5 yards behind it, and still is on track on the same path. That, a heavy bullet, more likely to do that. Sometimes if you shoot something, here I go, giving y'all free physics lessons, a really fast, lightweight bullet, sometimes you hit a 2-liter or something like that, and it might not have done that. It's more likely to expend all of its energy right there in that water and everything, and blow it up bigger, but not pass through as easily. It's one of the mistakes people make thinking, and I'm not an expert on this, but like living in an apartment or a house, either one, what firearm is less likely to penetrate the walls, if you ever had to shoot. And some people mistakenly think a 9mm wouldn't go through much. It's not that powerful, but it's a highly penetrating round in a full metal jacket, especially kind of thing. So bullets tend to just keep on moving. You gotta assume that they're not going to be stopped very easily. That's why it's so important to observe all the rules of gun safety. And it really is. There's so many ways you can mess up. You gotta, some people don't like the fact that so many gun people are so obsessive about safety, especially at ranges. You might be at a range and you just can't believe how obsessive the range officer seems to be, or people around you or whatever. But it's just that has to be that way. You got to have all those layers. Like finger off the trigger, never pointed at anybody, and all those different things. Somebody, what were they writing about? Something, a comment, I guess it was, and I was answering something about cleaning. What did I say? It was the only time. Yeah, it was on that. I think it was on that short about all guns are always loaded. That's what it was. Someone made a comment about there is no such thing as an unloaded gun. Yeah, and I said, yeah, you're right. I said, unless maybe you've got it apart and the magazine, the cylinder opened up and you've got a cleaning rod in it or a bore snake through the barrel, then there's really no doubt. It's unloaded or safe and all that kind of thing. But still, I wouldn't point it at somebody, I mean, that's what you want, don't you? You want the, like if this thing is open and I've got a bore snake, you know what a bore snake is, right? Big cleaning thing. And there's several companies that make them. In fact, Balstall makes one, and there's several companies that make those, and I've got all those. And I've got it through the end of the bore, and it's dangling here, it's sticking out, and whatever. Well, I knew the gun's not loaded. There's no room for a bullet. I've got the bore snake or whatever, all the way through there, or a rod with a patch, and I can see the patch, whatever I'm doing here. and the action's open, and what else? and but I'm still not going to point at anybody. Yeah, I'm still not going to point. I'm still not going to feel comfortable like just swinging it around. There's someone over here. Well, I got this boar snake. I'm just cleaning my. No, you just, you're all the same way, right? Couldn't you get the cold chills even thinking about that? Even though there is no way the thing is loaded, no ammo in it. It's just pointing a gun. You just can't do that. It's like driving down the road in your car. No matter how sure you are that it's going to stay. Of course, I got a Super Cruise on my Yukon. It might. But no matter how certain you are, there's nobody on the road, no one's out and around, and you're just not going to close your eyes, right, and take your hand off the steering wheel for like 10 seconds or something. It's just, you get a weird feeling going that way. Okay, so anyway, let me shoot it one more time before I make y'all leave. Before I make you leave, I know you don't want to. Oh man, okay, ammo. So, hope you have if you celebrate Christmas, again, everybody doesn't celebrate Christmas. Not to imply everybody does or should, it's up to you. People grow up in different traditions and have different religions. Imagine that, Nobody should be forcing his or her thoughts, doctrines, or whatever on you or me, and we should not be forcing, quote unquote, ours on other people, right? We can observe what we want. We should be able to in a free country, right? Okay. All right. Let's shoot a few more of these things. Let's observe the 44 Magnum celebration. Oh, there's a pin down there that needs to be hit. Just can't avoid shooting Clyde. I love it. I fired too soon. And that's it. Yep. It's funny when you got a good trigger. I was just right on the bottom of him, just ready to bring it up and pull it, but boom, boom. So. Nice, and that's a good trigger. Not dangerous, but that's good. I shoot a lot of different firearms. You would know that, would you? And so every trigger, a little different, and that's good. It's not too light. It's not too heavy, and enjoyable. So 44 Magnum. In case you've never seen a 44 Magnum, I'll give you a closer look at one. How's that? Isn't that a beautiful thing? Yeah, it is. So I'll let you go, and again, hope Santa's good to you, and that you have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas and everything, and that you enjoy the hopefully vacation. Maybe you get a little time off from whatever you're doing, and I will see you next week. We'll kind of wrap up the year, won't we? Yeah, I hope to see you next week. If all goes well, you will be here, and I will be here. Life is good.